Hey, good people. This is Rocki with Rocki's Reality, the #1 podcast for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. Tap in live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I chat with some of the dopest artists, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, and more. Make sure to catch us live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. See you soon. All right. Welcome to Rocki's Reality. Everyone, thank you for watching. Yes. Give me my sound effects, Joe. Come on. Listen. Last week we was hurting without our sound effects. You know, we extra. Me and Joe, you know, I'm a Aries, he a Leo. We extra with it. So welcome everyone tonight. I have an illustrious Detroit legend. I said, let me get him before he get too nationwide. I mean, he is global in a sense. And I call him the Yoda of yogis, y'all. Because he does the damn thing. Wellness coach, founder and owner of the Trap Studio, which we'll get into later. It's not just about trap music, which I was pleasantly surprised. I said, okay, he got a method to his madness. Yeah. All right now. So welcome to the show, Jamel Randall.
Thank you.
Right. Right. Raise the roof. I love it. So welcome, Jamel. I'm glad you're doing better. Your back was a little, at our big age. Yeah. I don't know. Are you 40 yet?
I'm 2 years away. I'll be 38 in January.
So your back was like, listen, sit your ass down.
Don't fool with the weights. Stick with to the yoga. I tried to lift weights again and get some muscle going on, but this back here don't want that. So
yeah, because you had injured your back years ago, and they say once you injure it,
that's exactly what it is. Same spot. So that's what got me into yoga was deadlifting in the gym, back injury, trying to recover. Left it alone for years, and for some reason, I decided 15 years later to try it again.
15 years later. Yeah. Lord, and now that you married and stuff, what? And we got to talk about your wife. We'll get into her later. She is gorgeous, y'all. His wife is gorgeous. I was like, I like men. I love my husband. But I was like, Jamel, your wife is gorgeous. Y'all just make such a cute couple.
Yeah,
y'all make such a cute couple. That y'all just really look like y'all go together real bad.
Yeah, we do. That's how we met, and it just kept going.
I love it. But we'll get into that. What's her name?
Pre.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if Pre was like a nickname for her. Or that's her real name.
Shay Pre.
Okay, I love it. Okay, because you know us black folks, we always got.
Yeah. Shay Pre. You know that's more black, right? Like.
Shay Pre. I love it.
I'm gonna put a name together.
But we'll get into it. Did I miss any titles though that you like to call yourself? Because of course, a lot of people know you as a yoga instructor, but you were also a youth football coach at one point.
Yep, I coached football for 12 years. Done massages for about 20 years. I wrote a book finally last year, so I'm an author also.
Yes, look at multi-hyphenate. Let's go. Wait, so Jamel, what so you were doing the football, the massage stuff before the yoga then? Because you've been doing yoga. Yeah. You've been a yoga teacher. You initially told him 15 years, but that was when he went for yoga. We'll get into how he went for yoga training. Teacher training, y'all.
I lied to him.
But you've been doing massages longer than
I've been doing massages since I was 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So was that a way for you to get with the ladies, Jamel? Like, what's the tea on that?
So the funny thing is, I got in massage school. I thought I was going to physical therapy school. I went to Tennessee State, and I got down there for about 24 hours before I hopped on a Greyhound. My mama dropped me off. I hopped on a Greyhound, came right back, and she said, "Well, you got to do something." So I called all the schools. It was in between semesters, and I called NIT. And I said, y'all got a physical
NIT is
National Institute of Technology.
Okay.
In Dearborn.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, y'all got a physical therapy program? And they said, oh, yeah, come in.
Okay.
And I got about 3 weeks in. They kept saying massage therapy. Is this massage school or a physical therapy? They say, sir, put your hand down. It's massage school. It's 9 months. And my mom was like, you might as well stick with it now. So,
all right. She like, look, now I done paid my money.
Yeah.
You better listen. She like, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't pay my money. Wait a minute. So why did you leave Tennessee State? You wasn't.
Nah, I didn't know what I was doing. I was going down there for football, and then they said the football coach got fired, and so they're like, "Well, how you gonna pay for school?"
Oh,
And they told me the numbers for out of state. I'm like,
no,
"Yeah,
no.
I can make that decision without even asking
Yeah, the
nobody."
way our bank account is set
Yeah,
up. Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah,
So tell us a little bit what led you to, like I said, be the Yoda of yogis, because
yeah,
with yin nights, and we'll get into a little clip in a little bit, like you have pretty much changed the lives of thousands of people.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
love how it's more than just the physical,
Mm-hmm.
like mentally,
It's the mental.
how you change people.
Yeah,
So talk about what led you. And I was like sobbing at your storytelling when you was talking
yeah,
about your parents. I was like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
God. Just a really heart wrenching and heartwarming story
Yes,
at the same
definitely.
time. The world is a different place without your parents,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure. I mean, I'm blessed to still have mine, but my husband, both of his parents are deceased, so
Uh,
it's a different world
oh yeah, it's
when
completely
your parents are gone, and that was a lot to for you to endure, for them to pass so close.
consecutively. Yep.
So to give us a snapshot of that, and how that led you to be the Yoda of
Yeah,
yogis.
yeah. Well, the my parents passing that happened 9 months apart, and as I said at the beginning, is that's how I hurt my back. I was trying to run away from like the stress of thinking about them passing. How you run it off, lift it off, grunt it out type of
Hmm.
thing, and I ended up hurting my back in the midst of that. Well, I stumbled across a yoga class at Lifetime actually, and they were kind of like moving and sweating and stuff. And I said, "Oh, this looks sweet. I want to kind of get into this." And I took the class. I didn't know what they were doing, and I didn't know the words or anything. So I looked on Google and I said, "Let me look up yoga basics," and I didn't see nothing. It's like yoga for beginners. Yoga teacher training kept popping up on the thing, and so I said, "Well, I don't want to be a yoga teacher, but maybe I can learn the basics that way." So I just clicked it, and yeah, they called me in for an interview. And by the time I got into that interview, I lied and told them everything under the
The
sun.
interview was in the morning, by the way.
six
So
six
that
o'clock.
must be just like a yogi thing, getting up early as hell.
Yeah, getting up
Yeah,
early. Yep,
yeah.
yep. So you basically meeting this, wait, raising before the sunrise, and get your meditation
Eesh.
and the yoga. So they interviewed me at 6 o'clock in the morning in
Mm.
Birmingham, Michigan. And I'm like, okay. And he asked, he said, how long have you been doing yoga? And I said, about 10, 15 years. And he's like,
At this
okay.
point, you had only taken one class.
I only taken one class and I was only 23, 24 years old. So it's like, come on, bro.
Right,
But
right.
I just kind of went with it. And, they asked for a
Mm.
couple other things like, would you give up meat? Would you give up alcohol? Would you give up sex? Would you give up drugs? All this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, this is deep. And so,
During the training,
yeah. So the 3 months of
damn,
the
that's a
training,
lot.
yeah, 23 years old, a whole lot.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. So all the good stuff, all the cravings essentially. And so about I say 2 weeks within that practice. I mean, in the class because they accepted me, of course. Um, we went through a stage where we had to do certain poses. They wanted to show the difference in the shapes of the body, and so they had me stand, come to the middle because I was the only guy in the class. There was 60 people in this class. There was only one guy, only one black guy
That's a rarity, I have to note. You being a man
in the yoga.
as a yoga instructor, is definitely makes you an
Oh
anomaly.
yeah, yeah. They looking
For
like, what
sure.
are you here for? and so and so I'm like, okay, but the teacher was a guy.
Hmm,
And so
okay.
and he was the man. He still is. And so when he asked me to go to the downward dog, I said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to show me what kind of dog that is, because I don't know downward dog." They're like, "Come on, Jamel, get in downward dog." I remember I said, "All right, Johnny, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't never done yoga before." So he looked at me, smiled. He said, "Jamel, we could smell your shit a long time ago." And so I said, okay, cool." Well, long story short, I went home that night and I got an email from his assistant, and she said Johnny said that he doesn't want you to worry about paying for yoga teacher training anymore. He's waiving your costs.
Oh
He
wow.
says that he feels that you can be a vessel to a community that he can't reach,
Oh wow.
and I took that completely to heart because it's like, why me, right? And after that day, I committed to practicing. So I would meet him at the studio 5:30 in the morning for meditation, 6 o'clock for practice every single day. And I did that for the duration of the training. I took 3 yoga teacher trainings actually, and then I actually did exactly what he said. I started teaching, but I didn't want to teach, honestly. I just wanted to learn. But I would tell my boys, I would tell my friends, I'm like, man, this is some deep stuff going on in here, bro. I'm like crying every other day. I had never cried before. I'm just boo-hooing for stuff that I don't even know why, but I'm feeling a lot lighter. I'm eating
Mm-hmm.
better. I'm feeling better. It's just stuff that I just felt like they should get. And I remember one of them telling me, like, man, if you teach it, then I'll come. I'm not going out
Because
the
I was
goddamn.
wondering if they were ragging you. Because you know how alpha males
Yeah,
are, right? Were they
yeah.
ragging you? Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because I know they probably was like, man, are you,
yeah,
you know, that
yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah,
questioning your sexuality and all
yeah.
of that.
All that,
Because you
all
know
that.
that alpha male,
All that,
like I could
yeah.
see that.
Yeah, man, I ain't doing no straight. I ain't doing this. Yeah, especially the football coaches, they were a lot like that. I had a small circle of friends anyway at that point because when you give up drugs, alcohol, and sex, all your friends fall to the side.
I guess shit.
They like,
Shoo.
let me know when.
Right.
So I started building a new community, and I had been doing it the other way for so long. I wanted something fresh and something new.
Mm.
But what I learned is that, you know, the funny thing is that all the dudes that like would question my sexuality or anything like that, I'm in here with 60 women.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
what's the problem? I'm in a better
The
seat.
perfect spot, right?
Yeah,
The
I'm in a
perfect
better seat.
spot,
Yeah, so
right, right,
yeah, so it was like that. They wasn't questioning.
right.
Yeah.
So were the women coming on to you though?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I tell people it was worse before I taught. I would go to class and yeah, it was like, okay.
How do you handle that, Jamel? Like, especially with the massages, because
Yeah.
sometimes the way you be stretching, I'm like, I know
Yeah.
these women um
Yeah.
are enjoying themselves, and
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't purposely give a happy ending, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's some
Yeah.
like, how do you maneuver that?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you
been
know, put some boundaries up, like.
it's been in my like everything that I've done has been like where you got to have discipline. So like coaching football, I'm sure you heard the football coaches they toss it to the football coaches, the moms, because you're an authority figure teaching their kids. So I don't want to say they were going to reward you or thank you, but they're turned on by that. And
Mm.
so then you go into massage, it's the same
Mhm.
thing. You get into yoga. I used to sell hair. I used to sell
Oh,
hair. I used to sell,
weave.
yeah, hair weave. I used to sell hair weave and lip gloss. I would go to the strip club and with two
Oh my
bags and sit
god.
there.
Was this before yoga? Was this or in
This
the
was right
midst?
right before yoga, so it was like that period right before.
Okay.
It was like that was like my my breaking period. I was like, okay, I'm done with all this. I'm getting into something different. And yeah, yoga, I took it all in. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
it's overall, yeah, it's
It's just
a
been a transformation for you
yep.
because when I was looking at your twisted storyteller, you were talking about how for you it surprised you how you had to let go because grief is not a linear thing,
Mm-mm.
and it comes back around. So have you found that it's helped you to cope with your grief with your
Oh
parent?
yeah, it's and it's not even coping, it's accepting that it's okay to be sad and not have a bad day. So I can
Mm,
cry without my day being bad. I can
mm.
be
It's just
happy.
that moment.
It's just that moment. And
Moment.
so I let
Okay.
it pass. So I cry. I see my parents in my dreams. I see my sister in my dreams all the time. And I cry in my dreams. I wake up with a dry face. And
Hmm.
it's like, dang, I was deep. But I don't walk around the rest of the day like, man, I had a bad dream last night. My day is bad. We understand at this point that it's moments. So just like the sun rises,
Mm.
it falls. It rains, it snows. We understand this. When it rains, nobody stay in the house all day. Oh God, it's raining again. Oh, you put a coat on, you get an umbrella, you put your shoes on, you understand that you got stuff to do.
Yeah,
And that's
especially in Michigan. Shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
forever changing. Yeah.
I love it. And hey to everyone who's watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Roku. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I love my sound effects.
I love them
I
too.
love, I love it. I love it. So what led you to start trap, which stands for
uh,
it's not just trap music.
yeah,
I love that though. Let's
yeah,
talk about how that all came together. Like I'm gonna do because Yuji yoga is like the um the seraphic type
yeah,
music, like the new age
yeah.
type
I can
you
never do
know,
that.
elevator music
Yeah,
usually
yeah. I
from
can
what I've
never do.
seen. So what talk about you became a instructor and what led you, because he was right. You reaching a lot of audience, a lot of people that probably would not ever
Never
do
do it.
yoga
Yeah.
if they didn't see a guy like you
Yeah. Yeah.
doing it. So that's definitely, he kind of prophesied
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
in
Yeah.
a way. He knew that you needed to reach a certain demographic, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what you done. And we're gonna get into his social media posts, y'all, how the old women be coming up to him, how just all type of
Yeah.
incidents just be happening. Jamel, I be cracking up
Yeah.
reading
Yeah.
your posts. Like Jamel just be having all
I
type
see
of
them all, man. I
craziness.
see people all day long though, so I'm always moving. So I see all type of mess,
Oh my goodness. So first though, but how talk about how the trap studio came together.
man.
Because first you went Southfield in that little
Yeah,
room,
in
I
a small
remember,
room. Yep. Yep.
and now it's a whole building.
Yeah. So it started. I used to work at MGM doing massages, and I knew it was time for me to leave MGM when it started to be embarrassing to tell people that I worked at MGM. Like
Hmm.
I felt like I wasn't doing enough in my life. Like when I would go out of town and say, what do you do?" And that was a good job. It was a really good job. A lot of people wanted that job, but I just didn't feel comfortable as I was approaching 30. I remember I was like, I just hate telling people that I work at MGM. So I knew at that time it was time for me to try my own or try something
Mm.
different. And so I got a space in Southfield. It was 400 square feet. I just finished yoga teacher training. And so my commitment was like, I'm going to do yoga in this room and I'll do my massage clients. But the yoga, I said, I'm going to do it my way. So I'm going to have music banging when I'm doing it, and just so I can sweat and move and stuff like that because it get me going. It puts me in that space, kind of back like how when we were playing football back in the day. You get in the zone, you turn your music up, and you
Mm-hmm.
zone out.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps me present, opposed from the Zen quiet music like others. And so as I would do it, my massage clients would say, "Oh, so are you teaching yoga?" I'm like, well, I practice myself early in the morning, and so one girl joined me, and so I'm like, okay, cool. And then she invited another person. And so I had those two for about 6 months, 6 months, just me and them two. And so I started adding more classes on, and I would just play the music that I liked, and I wouldn't invite anybody else. Like I just I wanted to keep the people I could be comfortable with.
Right.
And I eventually started to open it up, and one of my boys came to class, and he said, "Man, I don't know why you don't just call it trap yoga. You got the music playing."
Hmm.
And I literally, it was that simple. I went home and I thought about it. I'm like, all right. So I looked it up, and I saw some people in DC that was doing it, and a girl in Oakland that was doing it. And so I inboxed them and asked them like what they thought about it and stuff. And the guy, he was like, "Man, I'm probably the first person to do this, but man, it's just do your thing, bro. I don't just that's all I could say. I never took his class or nothing. I just wanted to see if he would say something back." And sure enough, he did. And so I started doing those classes like that. And but I had in my mind, that I didn't want it to be like a joke. So I didn't want them to think that black people was clowns. Like
Hmm.
we
Mm.
gotta dance, or you gotta have music playing in order for us to do something deep.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to make sure that there was a message behind it. So that's how it started to evolve to the trust, reveal, accept, and practice. Yeah,
Mm.
trust in your today, meaning life happens for you. Revealing your story, yet relinquishing your attachment to it,
Mm.
accepting who you are in the moment, yet setting the aim, because we never want to confuse acceptance for complacency. And then
Mm.
finally, is practice over perfection, and also trust in our process. And all together, that creates the trap method. And
I love it. I love it.
yeah,
Progress. I like that progress. You said
practice
practice
over
over
perfection.
perfection, right? Because a lot of times I like to say progress versus focus on progress instead of
Same
perfection.
thing, same
Because it's
thought.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
That's why I was like, I like that.
yeah.
So what made you say like I need to make an acronym for this? Why didn't you just say, oh, it's trap music? This is what it is. But
Yeah,
going back into that, I want to prove that this is a purpose and not just us
yeah,
goofing off.
yeah. Because I would get invited to like teach out in California and stuff. I did this like 2 or 3 years ago. No, I did it last year too. Went out to California and taught, and it started to feel like a like I was like I was putting on a show for them. And it's
Mm,
like, oh, so what are you gonna play? And what's trap music? And
okay.
it wasn't really feeling right in my gut once
Yeah.
again.
Hmm.
And so I knew it had to be a deeper purpose. than just banging music and turning music up loud for people. And then also I lead yoga teacher trainings. So when you teaching people, teachers to be teachers, music, that's our birthright. We go get that.
Listen.
And so it's the other stuff that they need to get. And so as I started to really sit down with that acronym, it aligned with my story so well, and then it aligned with so many people who have been through my trainings story so well. It's like, man, at the end of the day, if all of us can learn to trust that life happens for us, having that faith, if we can reveal our truth, meaning no matter what your story is, everybody's been through something. If you can reveal it, you can inspire someone else to do the same.
Yes.
So now you get a bunch of people walking around with their chests out instead of covering up.
Right. Yep. I love it. I always say there's strength and vulnerability. I
Yes.
love that, and I love to build my brand on transparency.
Yes.
I love that
love it.
because we live in such a world where everyone's trying to put up all the smoke and mirrors, and it's like let's be real. Let's be human beings and show. And I love how you've shown at times how your back went out on
Yeah.
you, how you
Yeah.
shown that healing journey and
Yes.
being just again transparent with that.
Mhm.
So I want to go into the first video to show a little bit of what you've done. The one of him by himself in the studio. Is this like you just showing different moves in the studio? It's the one where you're by yourself and you're
Oh,
taking us through different moves.
yeah. So
The
this
coolest things about the practice.
no, go ahead. Yeah. Oh yeah, so this is just me. I did a bunch of videos, especially during COVID, whereas I was teaching people the basics of yoga, and it started with the mindset because everybody goes in and say, "I'm not flexible. Oh, I can't shut my mind off," and they can say all these things about what they can't do, and forget that the object is to do. Like just simply be. So it's a practice. It's never like a something where you're being judged or measured or anything like that. So that mindset is very important. So I thought it would be a lot easier for me to record these things instead of repeating myself over and over again and sharing it with the people who
Right,
have died.
right. Okay. So let's take a look at that.
The coolest things about the practice is that it allows you to read your authentic story on a day-to-day basis. But first, you have to gain that perspective and that mindset. I'm going to accept myself for today instead of yesterday. Meaning, I'm not going to judge my practice compared to yesterday or how flexible I was as a kid. I'm not going to look to the left or the right and say what anyone else is doing. I'm simply going to allow myself to feel. So when I speak of this type of stuff, I mean, we're going something as simple as a forward fold. One of the universal things that people use to gain understanding of their flexibility is say, oh, I can't touch my toes. That's all they do. They come in, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a yoga class. I say, I can't even touch my toes. Well, that's not the aim. I mean, well, that's not the end result. What we want you to do is reach for the toes, and wherever your hands lie, they lie. And we say, oh, this is my limit today. Here's my limit tomorrow. Here's my limit in 2 weeks. Whoa, 3 weeks, this was my limit. What happened? Who knows? There's always a story within your tissues. They like to say your issue is within your tissues. Well, we want to give you the opportunity to see all these issues and without judgment. So what happens now over time is that the mind starts to soften, where you're no longer judging, you're no longer measuring. Instead, you're giving yourself the chance to feel. So once the mind softens, the body follows. It's amazing how this changes people. So they go from reaching for their toes to folding from the waist so they can gain the most sensation behind the thighs. Don't worry, I'm going to explain to you within each posture what you should be feeling, so you'll be able to see this. But I just want you to gain a perspective here is toes are the aim, your moonshot, remember from the mindful vision. But along the way, you may see the stars. Imagine someone who's had knee injuries, hamstring issues, just letting go issues. Those are the things that you start to see along the way as you start to get closer and closer to your ultimate goal of grabbing those damn toes, pulling yourself in. How can you feel the most without sensation, tying yourself to that sensation or the end goal? I'm gonna keep repeating the same thing because that's just the way I am. I hammer home points. By the 4th week, you're gonna be talking just like me. Just watch and see. Otherwise, peace out. See.
I love that. So is that part of how you got through COVID?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, COVID. I did so much work. I made more money during COVID than I did the previous year. I was
because you put stuff online, you just brought it
Yeah, I was doing
online.
yoga teacher trainings. I did black tie training. I did a heal myself training. I did a chakra and crystal healing training. I was just doing all the things my little heart desired. I was really putting all that stuff in because literally I was getting up. It was just me in the house. So I was getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, going to sleep, and, then getting back up and there's nothing else
Right.
to do. Couldn't go nowhere. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And everybody was craving some type of knowledge, taking advantage of the platform. So yeah, I was able to train people all across the states too. Like,
I love that. I love that. So for you, what has been the most gratifying? Like, what prompted you? So you started the trap studio. Talk about how you expanded into the building because
yeah,
yeah, you started the classes. It was just a few people, and then you start adding more classes in Southfield. Because I remember I came a couple times, and then I looked up. I was like, he moving downtown. Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
how did that come about?
Well, during COVID, they wanted. I was in that small space in Southfield, and they thought I was going to keep paying rent during
Mm,
COVID. I like,
eh,
I ain't got no lease signed or nothing.
right.
Yeah, so I let that go, and I was completely content with that. But as I did the yoga teacher trainings, more of the teachers were kind of like looking for places to go and stuff like that, and I was just like, well, I don't know what we gonna do when we get done. I had in my mind I was gonna travel and teach and just do pop
Mm,
ups. And so a lady called me from Motor City Match, Michelle. She had just got laid off from Motor City Match, but
mm.
she had still had a relationship with the different building owners. And she's like, Jamel, I'm just telling you now, it's a great location. This is my girl. Though. She was like, this is a great location off the riverfront. It's a really nice guy. He wants a black business owner, and he's a black guy, and I just think that you should really just look at it, even if you're not like interested. And yeah, we drove over there. Me and my wife would roll over there, just like hanging out one night because it was literally off the riverfront.
All right.
And I was like, "This is space she talking about." And she's like, "Shoot, I don't know." I was like, "Okay, I don't know either." Knocked it out. And
Why didn't you? What was your hesitance? What was your reluctance about?
commitment, commitment to other people. So I know what I'm gonna do, but like I'm not really the type to micromanage. So,
Mm,
so having other people in the space, trusting other people to teach classes, like it's a class going on right now in the studio. This is a new evolution for me over the last 2 years. Is letting
you go-
people do,
okay,
yeah,
letting go of the reins a
letting
little
go.
bit.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And so I just didn't want to do that. And then I had a debt-free life. I literally had my house, my car, uh, all cash that I made. It was just mine. So I had nothing to worry about. Everything was just really like just living. Whereas I knew this was gonna take a lot of my savings to build out,
Mm,
then paying monthly bills as far as all the overhead that comes with holding a space. So yeah, that was my hesitation behind it. But then I started to look at the ultimate big pictures that like we don't have as a black community, we didn't have a hub where we can go
right,
to for yoga that was
right,
just like fly.
right.
Like I said, I go to Birmingham because I know the people at this point, but my cousin doesn't feel comfortable going out to
Right,
Birmingham.
because we already know being black in the burbs is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
precarious for us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But I can
yeah.
move around a different space for whatever reason. Uh and I can like be uncomfortable for a minute because I know eventually we both soften and come together. So
Mm.
but yeah, everybody isn't cut like me. And so I want to create a space where man, we can come in there and sweat, we can have a good time and vibe and literally come together for our self-care. And lo and behold, we did that.
I love that. So how do you determine? So currently, how many so let's run through the schedule
Hmm.
currently,
Hmm.
and what's the current schedule
Yeah.
now?
So we start at 6:30 in the morning, meditation and yoga. That's from 6:30 to 8,
Daily or
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday? Okay.
And then it's a 12:15 class, Monday through Friday, and then 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Ooh, and now it's 8:15 too. So
Oh damn. So
yeah,
you got like 4 or 5 classes a day.
yeah, yeah. And
I love it. And you host events there too.
yep, host events. Yep. So private events. A lot of people try to come in and they want to do their own private trap class, or yin. Yin class is the new popular one too. Uh, yeah. We and then also kind of travel around the city, so working with the different city buildings and stuff like that with the little trap yogis. So we kind of like been spreading around the whole city.
Right. So what's the difference between trap and yin?
So trap is more of our vinyasa, our fast flow, where you sweat in one breath, one movement. We kind of moving. So that's why the trap music works because it's up tempo. So we going with it.
Mhm.
Whereas yin is more soulful, so you get more sultry type of music, where you hold and pose. This is real chill and slow. So that's where you see where we have like 500-600 people doing it outside because it's
Mm.
chill. We could, and I mean, we could do fast, but everybody would be like out, like because they would
Mhm.
feel lost and tired. Yeah, but yin, it's long holding poses. I don't put too much on them. It's meant to open up the muscles, stretch the tissues, and then also to teach the art of letting go. Surrender is what yin is kind of tied to. Is surrendering to the now.
So how do you get people to do that? What do you say, Jamel?
Focus on your breath. Focus on the sensations that you feel in your body. Not necessarily labeling them or judging these sensations. Just saying, okay, I notice I feel this ache in my back. What is this? Or maybe that I'm clenching on my jaw, my teeth, or
Mm.
squeezing at the eyes, or my shoulders are raised. You naturally, when you
Mm.
bring awareness to something, you start to drop it. I don't have to say let go. I just say observe. Do you feel your jaws, your teeth clenching? It's like I use the
Mm.
analogy all the time. Would you walk around with your fist balled up all day long? No,
No.
no, it take too much energy.
Right.
So why would you walk around with your shoulders raised up? Well, the only reason you would do that is because you aren't aware. So my job is to bring awareness to the dark corners of your body, of your mind that you maybe don't pay attention to. And so that's how you make people be. It's like how often can I bring your attention to sensation and breath, respiration?
Mm. I love it, Jamel. Okay.
Yeah.
Bless you. And I know you gotta have that with your daughter too.
Oh my God, I just left her.
How old is she?
11. She a parent teacher conference today.
Man.
Wow,
Oh
wow.
Lord. How was that, Lord? How was it?
She good. She good with grades.
Okay. That
It
that
seems like you don't
personality though.
like. It seems like you don't like. She doesn't like us. It's hard to read.
Wait a minute. The teacher said she don't like.
I said, look, I know what you're talking about.
What? She's
She's
unbothered. She just not
she
being.
got the resting face all the time, and she won't smile for you or anything. She's been like that since she was 2.
Like she just like
Oh
whatever.
my
Wait a
God.
minute. So let's go into let's watch the news clip, please,
Yeah.
Joe.
She did
And
on
it
the
cracked me
news.
up when the reporter asked her something. She was like, "Okay, it's cool. Okay, like
And she knew
keep it moving."
he
Like
was gonna talk to her, and she still wouldn't smile for him.
right. She was like,
And I was
"Whatever,
like, oh my
whatever. I'm not.
gosh.
I'm not. You know."
So I knew exactly what these teachers was talking about.
Welcome to Yin Nights, which is really hard for me to say, so I'm going to go ahead and slap that on the screen. Courtesy of Trap Yoga.
Natural organic movements here.
All these people here at the Spirit of Detroit doing yoga, finding themselves, healing their wounds, and getting flexible, all because of this one guy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Jamel. It's super easy and chill vibes. We crack jokes, we laugh. You got the mellow look going.
Now, Jamel found yoga in his darkest night.
My parents passed 23 and 24, 9 months apart from each other from cancer. And I found myself interested in trying to get away from that pain.
He initially hit the gym to escape, but destiny took a detour.
So one day, life kind of delivered a blow. In the middle of a deadlift, I popped my back and it was over. I couldn't do anything.
He came across yoga as a way to get back to the gym, but she pulled him in and didn't let go.
Yoga helped me heal my back, but then also healed my mind for everything that I was going through.
Okay, think about that claim. Breathing and stretching helped heal Jamel's wounds formed from losing both parents in the prime of their lives? I mean, it is just breath.
Exhale through our nose.
Okay, yeah, we need oxygen to survive, but breathing has a healing power. I don't know. It just confuses me. But then I listened to Kat.
So if we breathing, that's the first part of yoga.
She is an instructor at Trap Yoga, and she talks about the power of breath, and then the dots start to connect.
It allows for you to refocus and recenter. A lot of times when we're in situations, the pressure can feel so overwhelming that we don't allow ourselves the time to just breathe. to allow whatever tension to fall off of us, to let it go, and then find a different way to approach the situation rather than with so much tension and frustration. You can kind of come with a more level-headed and calm approach.
Meet Tia Ray, cool as a cucumber. Out of all of the yoga, what's your favorite thing?
Today.
Fantastic answer. I mean, that's yoga. Be in the now. Kat teaches the kids, and she's good.
Inhale, arms up overhead. That's lowering it down. Inhale, forward fold, touching those toes. So let me see y'all muscles. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, me and the kids, that's a special connection that truly has to come from the divine.
Inhale coming up.
I thank God for Kat, because the world's a much better place with her in it. Oh, get this. The classes for the little yogis are free. Jamel is not in this for money or status. Be the change you want to see.
My ultimate vision is that we start having people living a life that's where they're present instead of reacting to their emotions on a regular basis.
Oh, that's hard, though. I mean, most of us aren't even aware enough to know we're reacting or that there's another way.
We got this. Look at me. You got it, right?
Enter the trap in trap yoga. Yes, there's the music aspect, but really, trap is the process by which Jamel hopes to enact the change.
TRAP stands for trusting your today, revealing your story, accepting your now, and then practice over perfection. And we can throw patience in there too for that last P.
Oh, the P could stand for process too. It's a lifelong journey, a daily choice. Oh, crap, I almost forgot. Jamel's daughter, Lori, she's been doing yoga since she was 3. Now she's older and super cool. And as a fellow dad, I know daughters don't always realize how fresh their fathers really are, so watch this. How cool is that to see what your dad does?
It's cool.
Did you hear that? She said it's cool. We got that recorded. You can't take that back now. I know, dads are so annoying. Yin Nights runs through the rest of the summer. If you want to get started, Wednesday nights, 8:15, Spirit of Detroit, show up as you are. Alan Longstreet, Fox 2 News.
I love it. I love it. She's like, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's all she
She
goes.
must be. Is she Capricorn? Cause she just so chill.
Gemini.
Yeah. Okay. She like, listen. I don't give a damn.
She don't, and she won't break for none of us. So that's why I told the teachers. I said, yeah, we will talk to her, but I've been talking to her for about 10 years now. So she only 11.
Oh my gosh. And she at that age. She at that age. So I like how you said being present with our emotions, because I know I am definitely an emotional person, and I'm sure I'm definitely need to get into some of these classes again. I need to get. So how did Yen Nights come about? Because that was so dope. Like thousands of people.
Yeah.
That was just because it was on Wednesdays. Because I remember doing a write up in Black about it, because we were thinking about different stuff happening around the city. I was like, oh, we've got to include Jamel for the yeah, you're welcome. I listen. I was like, look. I mean, because what you do is just, like I said, it's an anomaly, and it's just something that's needed, and it's a blessing when we have stuff for us by us. And I love that's what you're representing. So how did Yen Nights come together to be in front of the Spirit of Detroit?
Yeah. So they reached out to me. The city did for to do trap yoga, and I told you at that point I had already felt some type of way. I had already done trap yoga events around the city, and it was getting big crowds, but like I said, it was starting to feel a little bit too much like like we wouldn't be taken serious if we continued just dancing in classes and stuff like that. Because that's what I would do in the event style classes, is dance and just have fun with it. And so I told them, like, I don't want to do, because this is a free class, so I wouldn't be paid anything. So it's like, I don't want to do trap yoga. If I do anything for free, I had turned stuff like this down for 2 years. It would have to be something like yin, and actually I would want to do it at nighttime. They wanted to do it at 12 p.m. Like 12, ain't nobody gonna be there. So, and I won't be there either. So I said we do it at nighttime, yin nights, and yeah, that's what we go call it. And it was just wild.
And
Because
the class was totally free.
totally
People
free.
could just come and just
Yeah, I wanted them to register though, because
Okay,
as
right.
you know, you need numbers in order to
Right.
get, sponsors and
right,
stuff like
right,
that. Say, because there's one thing to say we had 500 people, another thing to show we had 500
right,
people.
right.
And so I remember how it started with like 29, 30 people, and I would take pictures of just like I would take them like angle the picture so it looked like it's more than what it is. I had learned this already from my first trap
I
Sundays.
love it. I love
So
it.
I know how to like deal with people because it's like
Listen.
once you see a lot of people, it's like, oh,
Oh,
why
look at
was
all them people there.
why wasn't I
Right.
there?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like,
Fear
oh,
of
we'll
missing
be
out.
I'll be
Right.
there. We'll be there next week. And so the next week it went from 30 to 60. And so like, oh, what's this? And so we 60 people was able to pan out and go, oh, look at this and
Uh-huh.
show the city and stuff like that. It went from 60 to 150 to 300, and I guess the highest was 650 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that was
At once?
yeah. They just come, and they would be coming for the duration of the class. So if we start at 8:15, man, people will be walking up at 9:05 with their yoga mat just to get a picture and say they was there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it was cool because it was like, you had black people, white people, Asian people, old people, young people, homeless
Mm.
people
Right. Oh wow.
laying on it. Can I get a mat, man? And so it's turned into a cool thing to whereas this year we had sponsors jump in. So Propel Water hopped in with us, Ally Bank hopped in and did something with us. And they started providing yoga mats and water for everybody
I
so that
love
anybody
that.
walking by can actually just grab a mat and hop in.
Right.
So it was really cool.
All right. That's cool to put that impromptu
Hmm.
piece in it. And because yeah, you're right. I might be working and I'm not paying attention. I'm just on my way home or
Yeah.
whatever. And that might have just been the thing I needed that night.
Yeah, and that's what that was the most gratifying. You asked the question, what was the most gratifying, satisfying thing about this is that uh I'm doing this out of the purity. I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy seeing people like excel. And so to be able to see so many people come together and then kind of like uh bonding as a community. These are a lot of them are perfect strangers all next to each other, feet on each other's mat and
Mm.
but they all loved it and I would get these inboxes about how satisfying it was for them and how much they needed it, the different words that was said or just the atmosphere, man. It was crazy. You hear the people moving by, you hear motorcycles
Hmm.
driving by, cars, all the stuff that doesn't really seem like it makes sense for yoga. It
Hmm.
made sense for yoga for us. And
Mm.
so I thought that was pretty cool.
I love that. So how did you determine what's a great yoga teacher?
Mm,
How did you outsource and start hiring? Like what were some
uh,
qualities
I trained
you
them.
look for?
Yeah,
Okay.
they came from I trained them. So every teacher that teaches at the studio went through my training. And so that was the easiest thing for us.
But how do you know if it's a good fit for them now? Because I mean, is it
Uh,
like
'cause-
how do you know?
so
I mean, is it an interview process for them to even qualify for the training? How do you know they're going to be
yeah,
a good yoga teacher?
you don't know. That's the thing. You don't know. But you get the benefit you get is I got 3.5 months of taking them through yoga teacher training. So there I'm hearing how they cue, I'm hearing how they interact, if they friendly people because they have to come to class every day anyway. Not every day, but 6 days a week.
Mm.
And so if they're like uh nice to the people in the studio, that makes a good yoga teacher. So the way we put it is like your personality and the person that you are can heal all accidents, all wounds that you make as a yoga teacher.
Hmm.
So you can say right foot when you met left foot, you can say up when you met down, you can say over when you said met under. But if you're a nice person, they gonna say, you know what, I know what she meant.
Hmm. Right.
But if you're a crappy person,
Right. They're gonna remember.
she can't even say right. She don't know her right from her left.
Oh my God, you know that's how we be.
Yeah,
The
yeah, but
cousins, you know that's how the cousins
yeah,
be.
yeah. But I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt if I like you. Like,
Yep.
all right, this food ain't even all that good, but she all right. And so you go ahead and eat it. I benefited from that for the first, I say the first 3 years of me teaching. It was a struggle for me. I couldn't figure out those poses like that. I was real fresh, but I had a personality. I knew how to relate to people. I coached kids in football for so long. I knew the different personalities of people, the shy people, the outgoing people, the people who just want you
Mm.
to just say that you see me. And
Mm.
nothing changes as we become adults. You're the exact same person you were as a child. You just got all these numbers behind your
Mm.
your name now and all these
And
different
bills.
stories. Yeah, right. And all that kind
Shit.
of stuff.
And bills to pay now.
Yeah.
Right.
But you still want to be accepted for who you
Mhm.
are. So it goes like I said, even giving a great example of me. The first time I went to the not my first time taking a yoga class period, but the first time I took a class as a yoga teacher trainee. We had to go to different classes and pop in, and I was still the only black guy in the class, on black guy, but it was black women in there, and they wouldn't speak to me. A white
Baby.
woman would speak to me before a black woman
Ooh,
would,
ooh.
and I felt like, oh, this is so whack to have to keep coming here and deal with this every time. And as I'm taking the class, it was a white guy teaching the class, younger white guy, and I was completely lost and confused. And he came over, and as I was like confused, and he put his hand on my back. He's like, "Bro, you good?" And I was like, "I have no idea what I'm doing." He's like, "Oh, I got you, bro. Watch this." That was so comforting in that moment,
Right.
because that's all I wanted, was somebody just to say, "You good."
Right.
I came back the next day and the next day after that, but before that, I had already made it on. I'd never come here again.
Yeah.
People won't even look me in the eye and say anything to me. And so I knew at that point, like, that's all it takes. People just want to feel accepted. They don't want to feel like they're doing something
Mhm.
wrong. We all here for the same reason. And so he did that, and I'm sure he just did it just because I look confused, but I needed that hand on the back too.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we live in such a world now where it's so many walls built up and everybody is about, oh, I gotta be hard and I gotta mask my feelings. So I really appreciate how just it's like you give space for people
Hmm.
to go to the other side without and feel like you said accepted
Hmm.
and feel comfortable and just accepting of themselves.
Hmm.
That's like the hardest part at times, and all that negative self-talk that we do to ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So I appreciate that. I do. So let's talk about yesterday, the tiny desk. So
Yeah.
shout out to the artist Charity.
Oh,
She
she killed it.
definitely, I might have to get her on the show because her
Oh,
vocals, and I've seen her around the city. She's
oh,
done a few events around the city, and she has a beautiful voice. So
she's a monster.
talk about that and the things you have coming up as well, because you're going
Yeah,
to be in Creator Con. Shout out
yeah,
to Robert Courtney, and
yeah,
then it was something else you were talking about. They just asked you about. So it's just like you steady,
yeah,
you stay booked and busy.
yeah, yeah. No, I stay booked
Sister
and busy.
busy.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. I mean, it's cool because I'm the only one. I'm still like, I'm not the only one, but I'm like that guy kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
so
mean that yeah.
yeah.
That's
So they
true.
call for those type of things because mental health and wellness is like a real thing now, and I'm glad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
the event yesterday we did was the tiny desk edition of Yin Nights, just to kind of duplicate what we did outdoors. Granted, we can't get 500 people in my studio, but so that's why I called it the tiny desk edition. But I want to
Mm-hmm.
still make it an experience, whereas they could say, "Oh man, that was cool." And so I met Charity at a photo shoot I was doing for a guy who had a new clothing line that he was doing, and he asked a couple different influencers to come in and model it and stuff like that. Well, she was playing her guitar and singing, doing the video recording. I was like, "What? Who is this?"
Right.
And at that, I was like, she didn't know me or anything. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself because we was kind of swapping out. Whereas she was doing her recording and I was coming in and she was leaving out. But I inboxed her. I got her info, and inboxed her, and I inboxed her about 6 times, and and it finally came together.
Sound like me. You got to stalk people for a little while. You
Oh
got to be
yeah, oh yeah.
persistent. The P can be for persistence as well.
Yeah, I kept going too. I was
Look,
like,
look.
I'm gonna catch her in her slow season. That's how I be.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
she slammed it though. It was so, man, it was so heavenly last night. I smiled. I dreamt about it. I woke up with a smile on my face. I was like, bro, this is gonna be a good thing. I really feel like
You gonna do more?
I'm gonna do more.
Yeah.
I just learned about the Pinso School of College that's opened up across from my studio. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
I don't know if you remember the what's the only black college here?
Ross. Oh,
Lewis.
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 Lewis. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because they sponsored some things with the artist Sidney G. James. They've
Oh yeah,
done
yeah. I
some of
know
the
Sydney.
blackout wall. They've worked with her with some stuff as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So they new
Yeah.
spaces opening up, and so I'm trying to get in there. I'm trying to get in there for the Yen Nights. They got
It's near you.
it's
It's
literally one block. The
I
Roberts
love
River
it.
Walk is connected to that.
I
So
love it.
so I'm trying to get in there, and so we can do another big Yen Nights in there. Besides that, yeah, I'm just doing like a bunch of different pop-ups and different things like speaking. Speaking is my new thing that I want to get into more into. So I really kind of only been like accepting opportunities to just talk and speak, and get my story out and get comfortable doing it. Like I always feel like practice is everything. So things
Absolutely.
like this is like practice, just me talking and getting comfortable saying stuff about myself. Um, then yoga teacher training, we're taking that to Atlanta and Tampa Bay this year. So
I
it's gonna be pretty
love
cool.
it. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's
You
exciting.
truly are example of if you just follow your purpose. And then how has it been for you as a entrepreneur though? That's talk a little bit about that, those challenges and how you've
Mhm.
made a space for yourself.
Yeah, the biggest challenge is as far as being an entrepreneur is developing a team and keeping the team happy. Because
Because everybody
it's
ain't gonna be happy all the time
nah
though.
nah
That's it.
yeah 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 that
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
So it's a juggle. So it's like being an entrepreneur and then being what is it, a sole proprietor or whatever it is when you're only person when you're the only person who's working solo
Right.
essentially. So if I was just doing my own yoga classes and doing my own massages, it would be a breeze because it's like I only got to take care of me. But now I got to do payrolls and
Mm.
schedules and if their class is slow, I got to figure out how to get them busy, how to get people in there. If
Mhm.
they can't do a class, how to satisfy their obligation. So it's a lot to juggle, but it's satisfying also though when you see the range you have. So if someone calls for me to go to Uville, I can say, "Oh yes, we can do it at 6 o'clock because I know I have a teacher that can go over and do it."
Mm.
If someone from the Boys and Girls Club say, "Hey, we looking for a yoga teacher," they know to call me because we got 30 to 40
You
yoga
that guy.
teachers. Yeah,
You say
yeah.
you got 30 to 40 teachers.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So you done built up a little army though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of
I
us.
mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty
okay.
much any black yoga teacher. No, I don't say any, but a lot of them. They done went through our training at the studio, and that's something I'm very proud of because they open up their own studios now and leading classes and stuff like that, doing the work essentially. Because at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing is to say how many I can't do. I can't reach everybody with my voice. But if we get more people out here
Yeah,
speaking the same type of language,
absolutely.
then the impact is made.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your wife,
Yeah,
Pre.
yeah,
And y'all just be cracking me up.
yeah.
I swear y'all look like models when y'all on vacation. I'm like, they look like the hotel is advertising and they on vacation.
We trying to get that. Well, we trying to get them to pay for it for us.
I love it. I love it. Cause this is one picture. You had your shirt up. I said, look at Jamel. They out here on the beach
Yeah,
just living it up.
yeah.
And I was cracking up. So last week you cleaned up the bathroom.
Oh my
I was cracking up. I was trying to vouch for you to get a coochie coupon.
yeah.
But you said she just was like, yeah,
She
okay.
came home and said,
You cleaned the
"Oh, you
sink.
you cleaned the sink. The
Did you
sink.
do more than the sink?
I cleaned the whole bathroom.
Did you?
Yeah,
The
I,
tub, the toilet, all of that.
I cleaned it. She didn't even look at it. She looked at it. I said, wait a second, bro. Now, I didn't mop. I will say that I didn't mop, but I like, come on now. You could have
Oh god.
gave me a little bit.
I'm laughing. I'll crack it up. I'll crack it up.
See, so yeah, so I won't be cleaned up anymore, basically.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you can't. I mean, that don't mean stop though.
she like cleaning up. She does.
Oh,
She does. That's her thing.
oh Lord. So
Yeah.
y'all been married how long?
It'll be 3 years on Monday.
I love it. Okay, well, happy early
Yeah, thank you,
anniversary.
thank you.
So does she do yoga? How did y'all meet? Like what?
She was working at MGM with me, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so we met there, and really, she was dealing with a breakup, and I was just like over like the life I was living.
Oh.
And I had my issues with my daughter mama too. So we had kind of story. We bonded with stories, and so our thing was just to have fun, enjoy each other. So yeah, we would go hang out. I mean, to from 7 o'clock in the evening to 7 o'clock the next morning,
Oh wow.
and that would happen like 4 times a week. Be like, bro, I done talked to this girl every single day for like almost a year now.
I love
So
it.
it was like, okay, it's time to do this. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God, y'all so cute. Y'all so
Thank
cute.
you.
How's that with the blended family though? How's that?
It's cool though. It's actually cool. Her son is she has a 16-year-old and then a 8-year-old, and then I have an 11-year-old. And
Okay.
so the 11 and 8-year-old, they actually been bonded. They've been like aces since
That's
the
good.
beginning. And then Donnie, her son, our son, he's like cool as hell. So almost like he my son. he's so laid back and chill. I'm like, okay, this is exactly how I would see myself.
I
Right,
love
so
it.
yeah, so it's actually perfect.
I love it. I love it. So, what would you recommend? Tell people where they can find. We've only got a few minutes. Thank you
Mhm.
to everyone watching. Tell them where they can find you,
Oh yeah.
Jamel.
On the So you can find me on Instagram, Jamel Randall, JamelRandall. So that's the same for Facebook. And then also the business is The Trap Studio. So TheTrap Studio. And that's the website for both of those too. So Jamel Randall is my personal website. The Trap Studio is the business website. You can see the yoga schedule, trainings, and even events that we do.
And I love that you got the yoga for the kids. That's free.
Oh yeah, Lil Trap Yogis.
I
That's the other
love
website.
that.
Yeah, Lil Trap Yogis. LILTRAP Yogis. Yep. Yep. And
I love
we
that.
in we're in a bunch of different schools with that right now. So
Oh, so y'all going into the schools and teaching them. I love that. Like DPS or Metro Detroit or.
that was really like the DPS after Oak Hazel Park, I should say, Hazel Park School District, and then the after school programs. Yeah.
I love that. Jamel, you are doing the work.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
listen.
trying.
Award winning. I should have mentioned that as well because you've won quite a few accolades and awards
Yeah.
and well deserved.
Oh yeah, 40 under 40.
I love it. I love it. You slid in there. You slid in
I
there.
was
You
like,
slid in there.
yes.
I'm like, shit, can they do a 50 under 50? I
They
mean,
should.
like, listen.
They
So
should.
let's end it with what advice would you give for, because I'm hoping that some other black men have seen you and been inspired
Mhm.
to want to do what you do. Like, what is your advice for them?
Oh, share your story. Bare your soul. We all have a story. So once you start sharing it, you start feeling a lot lighter, a lot better, and inspiring people. So I think that's the best advice I could give is just to start sharing your story right now. And before you know it, you have an audience that's ready to listen.
All right, and make sure you learn what downward dog means.
Downward
We're doing all
dog.
good.
I'll teach you that. I'll know exactly when someone's
How
lying
many
to me.
moves is it?
Ooh, Lord, it's hundreds, hundreds. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, okay. Well, y'all make sure y'all get into Jamel Randall and the Trap Studio. I'm definitely gonna have to come.
Yeah.
And I would love for us to collaborate on a future event. Let's
Yeah.
try to do something. I've wanted to do like a singles mingle type thing. So maybe we could do
Oh.
something
I got a great
like,
idea.
yeah.
Somebody pitched to me recently
Yeah.
a single speed dating yoga class.
Yes, yes. Because I was thinking of like one where it has speed dating, it has like a blind date, and then also like a love connection type thing where a
Mhm.
couple has already went on a date, and we could
Mm,
talk about it, and maybe they can do some yoga in between.
let's do it.
Let's chat about it. Let's
Yeah.
because that I think that's speaking of first dates, that would be a great first date to do
Yeah. So yoga.
to do some yoga. To do something different because y'all could be funny and laugh at each
Yeah.
other and get some of that awkwardness out of the
Yeah.
way. So I
Yeah.
think that would be a great first date, y'all. So y'all check out Jamel Randall and
Let's
the
do it.
Trap Studio. So and thank you, Jamel,
Thank
for
you.
I appreciate you. I know your schedule is crazy busy.
Mhm.
So I appreciate you taking the time and I hope your back continues to feel better.
In there.
And so because he was like, I can come, and I'm like, nah, I don't want you.
Yeah, it would have been bad. I would have had
No,
to sit here for an hour.
nah, bro. And then like even virtually, I was like, I don't want you hovering over the
Yeah.
laptop trying to let. I know how it is with the back don't be right.
Yeah.
So thank you, Gail Carter. Shout out to her, my This Is R&B editor. Um, yeah. So love it, love it. So thank you everyone for watching. And again, make sure you check out Jamel Randall and the Trap Studio. And thank you again, Jamel. And I
Thank
look
you.
forward to what's next.
I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everyone.